Alright guys, welcome to part 7 of my complete After Effects course. Today we're going to look at how you sequence your animations. So let's get into the video. Alright guys, Neil from Neil Collins Recording. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to my channel if you're not. Either way, appreciate you watching this tutorial. This is part 7 of my complete After Effects course. I do recommend that you watch the other videos in the series, which you can find here, as this course is designed to take you from beginner to pro and really bite-sized, easy to digest tutorials. We're all going to learn together. We're going to take it nice and easy as we progress through the course. So yeah, in part 7 today, we're going to look at how to sequence your animation. So we've learned how to do some really simple animations, and now I'm going to show you how to add some sequencing to these animations. So let's jump into After Effects and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I've set up this really simple animation. Everything's coming in at the same time from left to right. So we're going to do some sequencing. So the background comes in before the text comes in at different times. Just some really simple sequencing to make the animation look more professional and interesting. So first things first, we're going to look at a new shortcut. If you want to see what keyframes are in the sequence, then if you click on the layer and press U on your keyboard, then it will reveal all the keyframes involved in the animation for that layer. Okay, so let's press U again to get rid of. Now if you want to look at the keyframes for all the layers, then you just select all the layers by clicking on the first one, shift, click on the last one, that should select all the layers. Press U on your keyboard again, and bang, you have now got the keyframes for each layer all laid out for you. Okay, press U to get rid of that. If you just wanted to do individual layers, then you click on the layer you want, hold Control, click on another layer, press U, and then it will just reveal those two layers, press U, and it will hide them again. Really simple way of seeing what keyframes you already have in your animation. And the first thing we want to do is make sure that the background comes in before the text. So we want to move our text along the timeline a little bit so that the background comes in first and then the text. So how we do this, we're just going to drag our text layers a second into the animation, okay? So that the text will start coming in second after the background. Now you can see when you run the animation, now the background comes in and then the text comes in after the background. Now I'm just going to introduce another quick shortcut for you. Depending which layer you've got selected, if you press I on your keyboard, it will take you to the in point of that layer. So if we select the background layer and press I on our keyboard, then it will take us to the start of that layer. We select one of the text layers and we press I on our keyboard, again it will take us to the start of that layer. So that's a useful shortcut to know. And also obviously you can move the time indicator manually, or you can use the time indicator tool on the left. So if we want to go 3 seconds in, then we'll just type 3 seconds on the timeline and it will take us 3 seconds into our animation. All useful things to know, speeds up the workflow. So say we have our text layers at a random part on our timeline and we have our time indicator at 1 second. We know we want the text to start at 1 second. Then instead of manually moving it, what we can do is press, it's another shortcut for you here, the back bracket on your keyboard on Windows. Now I'm not sure if it's exactly the same shortcut on a Mac, possibly it could be Shift, I'm not sure. But yeah, so the back bracket on your PC will take you to wherever the time indicator is on the timeline. So another little shortcut for you just to make things a little bit easier. Okay, so now we've got our background coming in, our text coming in. I want to start bringing the text in when our background layer gets to the middle, which is about 2 seconds. So I'm going to grab my bottom text layer, which is actually the top layer on the animation, and I'm going to bring that to when the background comes to rest. Then I'm going to get the next one and I'm going to bring that one in slightly after the first one, and then I'm going to select my top layer and bring that one in slightly after. Okay, so if we hit space and play it through, background comes in, first layer, second layer, third layer, all comes in slightly different times. So you can see there's a bit of sequencing going on already, but it's all a bit slow, a bit clunky, so let's just jazz this up a bit. So if we select all of our layers and press U so that we can see all the keyframes. So I want to speed all this up. So I'm going to bring the background layers end keyframe to 1 second. And then I'm just going to move all of these so that they start when the background comes to rest. And then I'm going to select all of these keyframes. And I'm just going to move them all. Let's see how that works. So if we play this all through from the start now. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Now I think I'm going to bring the text in a little bit quicker. So I'm going to select all my text layers. And I'm going to move them maybe to there. Let's see how that works. Play it through. Okay, yeah, so that's more what I'm looking for. I'm going to bring the text in before the background comes to rest. So I might even bring them in a little bit earlier than that. So move the text again. All looks a bit more professional. Moving keyframes is really easy. You can just move singular keyframes as you do, or you can just drag and select and then just move multiple keyframes all at once. Okay, so really easy to do in After Effects. Now we're not going to do this, but let's just say we wanted to start our background layer, I don't know, 10 frames into the animation. Then what you can do is click on the layer, go to your display, and if you just type in +10, then it will actually take your time indicator 10 frames into the animation. Okay, so that's a really quick and easy way of moving the time indicator in the timeline. And then if you want this layer to line up with that time indicator, you just press your back bracket button and bang, easy as that. Okay, we're going to Control Z to undo that. Now what we're going to do is going to add some motion blur. It just makes it look a little bit more professional, less juddery, just makes it flow really smoothly, and it's really simple to do. So all we're going to do is we're going to close down our layers by pressing U, and what you're looking for is this little icon here which says motion blur. So you can add it to individual layers by just selecting the one layer and pressing motion blur, or you can add it to all layers by selecting all layers, click on the first layer underneath the icon, and it will add it to all of the layers. And you can also see it's enabled in the playback. Now, if you've got really complex animations going on, you can switch off this motion blur, as it does take up quite a lot of memory. So you can switch it off in the preview, which means you won't see it in the preview. But if you exported the video, it would still be on the video. Okay, so if it's selected here, then it's going to get exported. But if it's not selected here, you won't be able to see it in the previews. You can't see any motion blur at the moment. If we click it on here, enable it, you'll see it's enabled, and you can now see it on the animation. So you can see the motion blur in the background and in the text as it appears on screen now, okay? And if you turn this off, then obviously the motion blur has gone in the preview, but it's still on the actual video itself. Let's turn it on. Play that through. You can see it just makes it look smoother, more professional. It's just a nice effect to have on your animations. So there you go, that's it for this one. That's how you add some sequencing to your animations. So I hope you found this one useful. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Please let me know how you're finding the course. It's always great to hear from you guys. I read and reply to every comment, and it's always good to get feedback. So please do leave a comment below. If you're not already, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I'm releasing content twice a week, audio and visual gear reviews, tutorials, free giveaways, loads of content to help you with filmmaking. So please do consider subscribing to my channel. It'd be great to have some new faces on board. Channel's growing nicely now, so hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, as always, really appreciate you guys. Just make sure your notifications are switched on so I can let you know when new content comes out. But that's it for part 7 of the complete After Effects course. I will see you in part 8.